All right, you're recording. All right. Hi, everyone. It's lovely to see y'all again. I'll gavel in the meeting at 5:32 p.m. Let's do a quick roll call while I try to get everyone situated. And if we could like popcorn each other, that'd be great. Um, so I guess name, pronouns if you're comfortable, position, and today's check-in question. If you had to spend the day with your favorite musical artist, who would that be? So I'll go first. Kai, he, him, uh, pronouns, speaker, Senate, and if I had to spend a day with someone, it would be Tyler the Creator because I feel like it would be kind of chaotic and fun. So I'm gonna pass it off to Reese.
Hi everyone, Reese, he, him pronouns. I'm a senator, and I think I would spend the day with Joji. Popcorn, Julius.
Hello, name is Julius Gale. My pronouns are he, him, his. I'm an SGA Senator. I major psychology, and I guess I would spend the day with Kendrick Lamar. I don't know. He seems like a pretty chill dude, and I like his music. I feel like we could talk a lot about like Black culture and just like politics and stuff like that. He just seems like a very chill person. Next person, B.
Hello, everyone. My name is Beatrice Gutierrez Malagon. I use she, her pronouns. I am one of the SGA Senate advisors, and I'm also coordinator for Leadership at Campus Life. For the question that you pose, can it be someone in like a fictitious world, or does it have to be a real life person? Okay. Steven Universe it is for me. I'm gonna pass it over to Mena.
Hi guys. You said Mena, right? Sorry, I cut out for a little bit. My name is Mena. SGA Senator. I'm a junior, and my pronouns are she, hers. I'm also a bio and global studies major, and I guess I'll spend the day with. I don't really know. I don't. Did you say like anybody, or does it have to be a musician? Because if for me, it'll be AOC.
You know what? I could see AOC hitting out hits left and right. Wendy, what about you?
Hey, I'm Wendy, she, her, they, them. I'm the Assistant Speaker of the Senate, and I'm gonna have to go with Phoebe Bridgers. And I'm gonna call on Jessica.
Hello, my name is Jessica, she, her, hers pronoun, and I'm a senator. And I feel like hanging out with like a group would be really fun. So like ED Rising or like BTS or something would make sense for me, yes. And I will pass it on to. Has Patrick gone yet? No? Okay, yeah, Patrick.
Hi, my name is Patrick, Senator, he, him, his. If I had to spend my day with one person, it would be Fred Hampton, no doubt.
I'm not entirely sure who that is, but Victoria.
Hi, I'm Victoria. I am Senate Secretary, and my pronouns are she, hers. If I had to choose, it would probably be Vince Staples, I would have to say. And I will popcorn Rashad.
Thanks, Victoria. Hi, I'm Rashad. I use the he series pronouns. I am the SGA president, and if I had to spend a day with an artist, it would be Alan Walker, the EDM artist. Bye. Bye. I will popcorn it to Candace.
That's the wrong thing. Hi, sorry. If I could spend the day with one person, it would be Carol. Okay, that's boring. I know, sorry. Is this supposed to be a famous person?
It's a musical artist, I think.
Oh, thank you, musical artist. Okay, I missed the other because I was in the wrong meeting. Musical artist that I would the Indigo Girls because yeah, because whatever. Yeah. And I'm gonna popcorn to who hasn't gone. B, have you gone?
The senator, they, them. Not really sure who, like, if I could choose to spend the day with any person. I guess I would choose Hrabowski because I've never actually gotten to interact with him much during my 4 years here.
Hi, my name is Maria. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm an SGA senator. And if I could spend the day with anyone, it would probably be Michelle Obama.
Yay, okay. We got everybody in. The technology sucks. But hi Owen, hi Ashley. We were just introducing ourselves. Name, pronouns if you're comfortable, and what your position is, and if you could spend a day with someone, who would it be? Ashley, would you like to go?
Hello, everyone. So my name is Ashley, but I actually go by Ash. My pronouns are they, them. I do go by she, her, but my preference is they, them. I just use she because I'm not really out yet to people who are not on campus, so to my family, but on campus I prefer they, them. And my position would be the interim co-director of communications. And if I could spend the day with anyone, I would spend it with Bad Bunny because I'm crazy obsessed with him.
I like Bad Bunny. Hi Owen, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure, yeah. I'm Owen. I use he, him pronouns. I work at Thread as a volunteer recruiter, so I'm going to give a little presentation later. I would spend my day with Bjork because I think that would be a very good day. I think that she would make me feel wonder in general. So yes.
Thanks, Owen. I'm not entirely sure who that is, but I'm interested to Googling later on.
I cannot with you, Kai. I can't with you.
I'm sorry, I'm not quite out there. Nail Benet.
Sorry, I'm eating. Hi, I'm Nail Benet. I'm an SGA senator. And if I could spend the day with a famous person or singer, it would be between Frank Ocean and I would say Tyler the Creator too, because I want to know if he's actually mean in real life or if it's just like a joke. I can't figure it out. So I'd like to see if that's real.
You know, me too. Very chaotic person, but I just want to read Mati's out loud. They dropped it in the chat. This Mati, she, her, hers pronouns, SJ senator, and a hat major. Torrin Wells is gospel artist. Cool. Can't wait to make my new Spotify playlist later on. I believe that's been everyone, correct? Okay. Once again, I'm just gonna drop the link for the agenda in the chat. So I just wanted to quickly go over our land acknowledgement here, stating related to our value of inclusive excellence. We would like to acknowledge that UMBC is built on the native tribal lands of the indigenous Piscataway Conoy tribes. We acknowledge the painful history of forced removal from this territory, honor their history as cultivators of this land, and respect the many diverse indigenous peoples still connected to this land on which we gather. From Dr. Jasmine Lee, Director of Inclusive Excellence. Okay, so here is our agenda for today's meeting. If it all looks good, Is there a motion on the floor?
I move to approve the agenda.
Hey, thank you. Is there a second? And there's a second in the chat by Monty. General consensus. I'm not seeing any shaking heads or no's, so passed by general consent. The approval of the minutes. Thank you again, Victoria, for recording last week's minutes. Very, very fast. Very appreciative. I hope you all had the chance to look over it this past weekend. Is there any amendments anyone would like to add before continuing, or is there a motion on the floor?
Motion to move the minutes. Do I have to specify anything?
Okay. It's move to approve.
Move to motion? No, wait, no. Move to approve.
Yeah.
Okay, move to approve the minutes.
Yay.
Yay!
Second.
There's a second. All right. General consensus? I'm not seeing any no's. So with that, the minutes have been approved with general consent. All right. Thanks, Owen, for coming. Sorry again for the technical difficulties earlier, but I'm gonna let you have the floor and speak your presentation.
Awesome, cool. Let me just make sure that I can share. It looks like I can. All right, can everyone see that all right? Presentation? Yeah? Okay, I see one nod. Awesome. And then let me just make sure that I have the chat open. Okay, cool. So yeah, this is pretty casual, just about 10-15 minute presentation or so on volunteering with us, and feel free to interrupt me vocally on chat, whatever you want to do. That is great. First off, I would love to just know how everyone is doing today. If you could just type in the chat one of these little numbers to designate a face, that would be great. It's very much up to interpretation. You know, some people's David Bowie is different than another's, and cowboy, you know, you can take that however you want. Okay, I'm seeing, hold on, 3, 1, 3. Yeah, okay, 6 because exams. Nice. Wow, Sleepy Cowboy? I've yet to see a combination of Sleepy Cowboy. The pink hair, nice. Nice on the clowns. Yeah, I feel like 2, 6. That's a rough combination. I'm feeling like 7 today. I'm feeling nerdy. Just got done with work, you know. Yeah, that basically. Cool. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate it. Okay, cool. So, hi, I'm from Thread. We're a volunteer group here in Baltimore. And I'm just going to tell you a little bit about what we do and what volunteering with us looks like. And yeah, so we have been in Baltimore for actually 17 years now. We started as just a volunteer organization where there was a Hopkins student who was feeling really isolated from her community. Like, she didn't know anyone in Baltimore City, and like she was just stuck in the lab all day. And so she looked at the high school across the street and was like, hey, maybe there are people that feel similarly in there and that would like to get to know me or need support in one way or another. So that's how Thread started, was just a few people hanging out at the high school. And now 17 years later, we're a lot bigger. We support over 600 students. And yeah, I think the other thing to note is that we really value failing forward. That is something we talk about a lot. Earlier today, I was in an all-staff meeting where we were getting a presentation that just completely, through a lot of technical difficulties, fell apart, and it was like totally par for the course. Like, we're totally comfortable with mistakes, and I think that is something to know as a volunteer. You're not expected to have all the answers at all. It's totally okay to just come in and be willing to fail. Yeah, which is definitely a nice environment, I think. So basically what we do is we enroll the bottom 25% of students academically in their freshman class at 6 different high schools in Baltimore City. Once we identify that group of students, we stick with them for 10 years. So as a volunteer, you only commit to a year upfront, but our students are in the program for 10 years no matter what. Even if they stop answering our calls, even if they are like, please, I'm not interested, we will continue reaching out and giving support for those 10 years no matter what. And so in that sense, we're a lot more than just a program that's about getting kids to graduate from high school. We are trying to set them up for their life moving forward, you know, make sure that they are ready and ready to move into the world. And we are also always trying to build relationships across lines of difference. So when we match our volunteers with our students, it's not like we're trying to match people that have the exact same interests or zip codes or anything like that. We are trying to match people that might not have met each other in another context and really celebrate the differences between the two of you and make that a positive thing rather than a difficulty. All right. Cool. Wow. Thank you. So our students, so as far as how it's been going, our students, originally this group of students has about a historical 0.84 GPA and about a graduation rate of 6%. We have been able to bump that up to 84% with the students that we've worked with, which is something we're super proud of. It's really amazing. And I think that it just goes to show when you have a network of people behind you, just supporting you, answering your calls, you know, looking after you, it makes all the difference. And then the other thing to know is that we are now a community of, like I said, over 600 students, but also over 1,200 volunteers that are all folks living in Baltimore City. So if you're interested in connecting with a young person through Thread, that's great, that's awesome. But it's also a great way to meet other working professionals, students in Baltimore, retirees. Like you'll meet all sorts of people that are in this community, and sometimes it might be those unexpected relationships that end up having the biggest impact in your life. Like I have volunteers that are like, yeah, my volunteer leader, like they changed my life and we talk every day now. And yeah, so you just kind of never know. And that was the other thing I was going to say is that, you know, as UMBC students, it definitely is a big advantage to be able to connect with people within Baltimore City. Especially before COVID, we were not as accessible in a virtual capacity, but now we really are. And so, yeah, it's a great way to connect with the city. All right, so this is kind of the more confusing thing. If you have ever looked into anything about Thread, this is like maybe the part where you might have the most questions, but this is how we organize our volunteers. So we have 3 different volunteer roles, and that kind of helps us reach the most people and kind of leverage our resources in the best way. So one of them is this family member role, and each student has about 2 to 3 family member volunteers connecting with them. And that's like our most basic volunteer role. You connect with a young person on a once-a-week basis, and that's kind of it. And really it's something that separates us from other like mentorship programs and things like that, is that we don't just have a 1-to-1 ratio. There are multiple volunteers that are all connecting with that young person. So you have support, and also the student is like getting that support from all different places. And then the next role is the head of family. That is a volunteer leader who does a lot more of like logistics. They still connect with that same young person, but they also connect with the family member volunteers and like try to build community amongst the volunteers. And so if you're someone that's really interested in like learning about the resources in Baltimore City, learning how to be like an advocate for young people and things like that, that would be a great role for you. And then zooming out one step further, this just introduces the grandparent volunteer role. So that is like our biggest leadership volunteer role. And the grandparent is someone who connects with 8 different heads of family. and then they are also coached by a member of our staff. So I know this is an overwhelming image, but essentially the grandparent, and like I call them the superpower of Thread, is that if there was a student that was struggling with something in this top left family and their immediate volunteers didn't have the ability to help them or the resources to access, this grandparent is connected to over 25, 30 plus people in the community. And so someone is going to have the resources. And so they are the person that really brings everyone together and allows everyone's resources to help out each other. Cool. So a quick brainstorming thing. So I'm sure you're all like, how do we do this kind of work of connecting with a young person in a virtual capacity? So I'd love to hear just a few things in the chat about, like, throughout this pandemic, what are some of your favorite activities that you've been doing with friends virtually? Things that have made you actually feel like you're in the same room together a little bit more. And yeah, just feel free to drop some things. We got games, Discord voice chats. Ooh. Giving people B/1 piece presentations. Oh, okay. I know One Piece, the anime. I do not know B. What is B, Kai?
They're the insects that make honey.
Oh, just literally B. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Okay, that sounds exciting. I feel like I have a lot to learn about bees. I would love a link. Discord server, virtual movie nights, Netflix party, video games. Yeah, Netflix party is really good. Letters are extremely sweet. Nice, nice. Yeah, I've also done some PowerPoint presentation nights, but I did the kind of reverse with friends where you just create a presentation for someone and then give it to them without any context, and they have to present it, which is very fun and can be very confusing. Cool. All right. Well, thank you all for that. Yeah, those are all things that are great for connecting with your young person. You know, one of the things that people kind of have difficulty wrapping their heads around with Thread is that we don't really consider ourselves a tutoring program or a mentorship program, but we do tutor and mentor. So like when you're getting into Thread, really the goal is just to build a relationship. That is like all we're expecting. And so sometimes your young person is really like struggling and needs math help, and that is like an awesome way to support them. But sometimes they just need to play some Fortnite and like get their mind off of the other things that they're dealing with, and that is also totally cool. And the other thing when it comes to being a mentor, we kind of stray away from that because that doesn't really, we're looking for you to have a bi-directional relationship. So we're hoping that you can get just as much out of knowing your young person as they get out of knowing you. So that's why we don't really call ourselves mentors. And I'll say that like our young people are brilliant, full of energy, and like really incredible people. And so it's definitely true that you will learn a ton just in knowing them. So cool. So I think I kind of mentioned that the main volunteer role of family member, basically the expectation is just that you're connecting with your young person on a once a week basis. So we put that at about a 1 to 2 hour time commitment a week. And really it's totally up to you when that happens. It can change week to week. That's why this is a really great volunteer opportunity for students. So like if you have exams coming up, you can just save your reach out, your text, your call for the weekend. Yeah, just as long as you're connecting once a week, you are set. And sometimes those are things that you're coming up with on your own, like game nights or, you know, just calls or FaceTimes or things like that. But there are also community spaces that we run. So you can hop into one of our tutoring sessions and hang out there, meet other students that aren't necessarily the one that you're connected with. You can come to our community meetings, our coaching sessions. So those are also great ways to plug in and hang out with Thread folk. All right, and then some other things to know about volunteering during COVID. So we're not going to ask you to do anything in person until COVID is like not a concern at all. We have now been doing it for over a year, and we're like pretty good at it at this point, which is surprising to say, considering I started around this time last year, and it was a scramble back then, definitely. But yeah, we know how to do virtual volunteering now, and that is like what you're expected to do for the time. So don't worry about, us asking more of you than that. The one thing that you do have to do in person is get fingerprinted. So that we understand can be a hurdle for people, and we're totally happy to help you come up with ways to do that in a safe way. Our fingerprinting partner in Baltimore is really sanitary and safe. So it's definitely a solid option. All right. And then, yeah, that is essentially my presentation. So the next steps after this would be, so first off, if y'all could just fill out this form, that would be amazing, just so that I have like a record of who was here and who was interested. So that's one thing, that would be great. And then there are 3 things you have to do to get fully involved with Threads. So one is just filling out an application online. So as long as you fill out this form, I can get that application to you and you'll have my contact and everything. It's just like 5 minutes or so. And then you attend a orientation online with members of our curriculum team. That is a super cool space. Our curriculum team is brilliant and will get you like so supported. And so if you're feeling nervous about connecting with a young person and like this kind of work, don't worry, you will not be thrown to the wolves. You have like tons of support in those people. And then the third thing is getting fingerprinted. So once you do all 3 of those things, you are all set and ready to volunteer with us. And yeah, you'll be matched with a young person soon after that. So cool. I am going to stop sharing now so that I can see you all. And please ask any questions that you have. Thanks.
I had a quick question.
Cool. Yeah.
Is this partnered with the UMBC Shriver Center or?
Yeah, so we are connected with the Shriver Center. I want to say that, so for those who aren't aware of how the Shriver Center works, there's like a practicum course, 096, I think, that you can take with the Shriver Center that allows you to use like an outside volunteering opportunity and kind of like reflect on it for a course. I think that course is 0 credits, but there's another course that has like more advanced things you can do for credit. So yes, we are connected. We are a volunteer opportunity through that. And I think that even, I want to say y'all's like add and drop dates have ended, but I think Shriver Center has like a way around that. So I think you can even apply to work with the Shriver Center until like early March. But like I said, Thread is like a year-long commitment. So if you wanted to start now, you could use your fall semester to work with the Shriver Center, and yeah.
I had another question.
Mm-hmm.
Is this for continuing students only? What I mean by that is, for example, myself, I'll be graduating in like 10 weeks, 11 weeks. So if it's like a year-long process, is that any concern or?
Yeah, so basically, if you're thinking of sticking around in the similar like Baltimore County area, then you'd be good. So like it's all virtual right now, but we ideally want to work with volunteers that within their year commitment, once COVID is no longer a concern, they could ideally meet up with their young person and like have that in-person connection. So yeah, if you were like immediately going to run away from Maryland, probably might not be the best option. But if you're planning on sticking around for a while or being nearby, I think it could totally work. Yeah, we have tons of volunteers that aren't students, and so yeah, not a requirement.
Yeah, thank you so much. If we have any questions in the future, what's the best way to reach out?
Sure. Yeah. So anyone can just email me at this email here. And then once again, there's that form. So if you have a chance to fill that out, that would be awesome. And yeah, reach out. I'm around. I am also a UMBC student at the moment. So I will be in plenty of different spaces. So yeah.
Wonderful. Yeah, I don't think we have any more questions as of now, but thank you so much for coming in and giving us this presentation. I'm sure a lot of us are very interested in having a small one. So that's the best way I can put it. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Appreciate it. Have a good one, y'all, and bye.
Okay, that was Owen. He seemed really cool. No, not seemed. He is cool. Moving on. Yeah, thanks, Meta. I thought it was really interesting, and I thought a lot of us could help people through this voice or void. What is it? Thread program. So yeah, if y'all could after this meeting or in the future, fill out that form he sent out, and his email is in the chat if you have any more questions. But I do want to move forward in the agenda. Next on our list is SL 35 2021. Ashley, or I'm sorry, Ash for interim co-director of communications. Hi, Ash. Is Ash here? There she is. Or there they are.
Hello.
Hi, welcome to Senate again. Yeah, this is our this is going to be your confirmation, and we just have a few quick questions. But before we get into that, if you could just briefly introduce yourself and why you're best for this position, that'd be wonderful.
Okay, so hello everyone. As I said earlier, my name is Ash. I have a long history of communications dating back from high school, being like the co-captain of my debate team, leading them into the first ever team to win finals. And then it kind of just went from there. At UMBC, I found my home very quickly with the Hispanic Latino Student Union. And as soon as I joined, I started running the social media. I kind of just jumped into it, right into eBoard, and I had so much fun getting to like express my creativity through my community and also just connecting with other students online. From there, I started getting involved with Okamoka. Someone here recognized me as the barista from here. I think it was Jessica, messaged me privately and said, "Aren't you the Okamoka barista?" I am. I'm also the shift lead, so I'm one of the managers. And from there, I learned a lot of communication skills as well when you have to lead a team and like confront issues in a workspace. And I also became the social media intern for Okamoka quickly as well. My manager was literally begging me to take over the social media because he really wanted to give me that chance. And I thank him every day for doing that because it was such a good learning experience for me to run a business account's Instagram page and get to have the creative freedom with my coffee, my craft. Honestly, that's my craft, that's my art. Getting to express my art through that social media. And now I am the secretary of HLSU, so I also manage basically all the emails that go in and out. I do direct contact with our professor mentor, Ana Maria Schwartz, and yeah, I'm pretty much everywhere on campus with leadership positions. I'm also the president of the Humanities Scholars Senate. So from there, we plan like a lot of events for my cohort, and there are a lot of officers involved. So that involves me leading another team of all of my senators. And yeah, I'm just everywhere on campus, and I really like running social media accounts.
Thanks, Ash. I do have a question, and this is mainly for either Michelle or Rashad. I noticed that the legislation says co-director for the position. Could you explain a little bit more about that role?
Yeah, sure. So As you all know, Calissa, the previous director of communication, resigned, as well as one of our coordinator of graphic design, Tori Rickner. So naturally, Michelle thankfully rose up to the role of the director, and she will be with us till the end of the third quarter, after which she will also no longer hold office. And then after that, while during the third quarter, Michelle and Ashley would potentially work together for Ashley to kind of learn the way of communication, just because communications has a very intricate and structured systems for how they run their accounts and how they run our accounts and process requests from different SGA officers. And then after the third quarter, Ashley would be director for the remainder of the year.
Okay, so it's kind of like using the third quarter as like a trade-off thing. Okay, cool. I think that's reasonable and well intended. Yeah, are there any questions for Ash?
Hey, thanks for joining, Senna. I was wondering if you had any ideas for how we can improve SGA social media presence, if you've started thinking about that.
Yeah, so I actually was looking at the SGA social media accounts because Marshad mentioned to me trying to like be more personal and connected to the students. And I already have a few ideas for how to manage the social media. One thing I learned when I was running Okamoka is that when people are interacting with accounts like these, they don't know that they're interacting with another student, and they don't know, like they actually just really have no idea who it is. Some people literally think it's someone like behind UMBC trying to like, you know, scare away students and stuff like that. People are scared that it's like a faculty member who's gonna like look at their Instagram story and see them drunk or something. So like these are like actual concerns that students have, and I know this because I ask all my friends in all the orgs that I'm in. So one thing that I noticed was just like lack of like being personal with students. Like when a student comments, you can address them by their first name if you see them on the page. Like, hello, like say Wendy commented something, I would say, hello, Wendy, and just make it more personal. And so like I have a few ideas as to like how to just interact more. Like with HLSU, we do different takeovers, we have different polls, we have different questions just to get to know students more. And like I like showing them who is behind the account, that it's just another student, and that it is a safe space for them to DM and ask any questions. So I'm kind of just focusing on the angle of trying to make it more personal and to connect more with students so that they're not scared of a social media account. Because I find that with a lot of social media accounts, there's just general anxiety as to who people are communicating with. So I just want them to know that the social media is a nice portal to get to know us and to know that we're not the bad guys denying them money. We're just students trying to run the government. So that was an idea that I had.
That sounds great. Thanks for answering.
Mm-hmm.
Hey Ash, I have a quick question. So you mentioned that you're also a student as well as I'm gonna say a part-time job with Okamoka, as well as are you a part of any organizations?
Yeah, I'm part of the Hispanic Latino Student Union on campus. So I started off as the public relations officer, which was running social media and making all of the graphics that we had on our page. And I was kind of left in a position where no one really trained me for my position and no one told me what I was doing. So I figured out how to recreate HLSU's Instagram account entirely by myself. And I figured out how to make it more personal during holidays. I created the Afro Latinx Black History Month posts. People really liked those. When we had our big events, I would post celebrity fun facts. I posted a lot of Bad Bunny. Just like things that students are into, like posting what people are into right now will really grab their attention and let them know. Like Nayla Benet said, people always think it's faculty running these things for some reason, and so they get scared. But again, like I want to make it more personal, kind of like I like how SEB does their Instagram stories too. So I'm kind of like taking inspiration from different outlets of campus as well as my own, just because I come from a cultural org, and my cultural org encompasses so many different races and ethnicities that I know that like there are different ways to include everyone and make sure that they're being seen and heard.
Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to follow up with that with um what your time schedule is like handling with all these fun
Mhm. So with Okamoka, I actually don't work as often as I used to, just because I personally have a lot of I have a lot of disabilities, so it's easier for me to do remote jobs. And given the pandemic, I've honestly been working less hours with Okamoka. I'm more so like behind the scenes with them. So I only work twice a week during the semester. And then as time management goes, I'm so used to HLSU that it's kind of like breathing for me to run it and be a part of it. It's not a time stressor or anything. Um, and I've always been a person who juggled a lot of things. So time wise, I just balance out my time and I am considering working less at work just to have more time for SGA and having more time for school.
Thank you so much for that. Are there any more questions for Ash?
I don't really have a question, but I just wanted to drop the link to the HLSU Instagram in the chat so everyone can take a look. Because personally, I think it looks really great.
Thank you.
Jessica.
Hi, so this is just like a very standard, like interpersonal kind of question, but how comfortable are you with collaborating with other leaders in SGA or like with your team and like experiences in which you have to work on a project with a team? Just because I feel like, okay, I'm new to SGA too, because I like took a break for like a year and now I'm back, but basically what I've gathered is like the climate that we have is very team oriented. So I was just curious if you had any experiences, like pulling from like HLCU or Okamoka, or whatever, of like basically where you've had to work with a team to accomplish a project and like successes, shortcomings, etc.
Mm-hmm. So with Okamoka, I actually started off with another social media intern as my partner. So we kind of had a social media team in that sense where it was me, the other intern, and Michael, my manager, who also majored in MCS, and that was the social media team. So I'm pretty used to working in a team with that setting. Um, we did have the social media intern quit mid-semester, so I kind of had to take over two positions. But as like going back to the group work, Okamoka has always been like a whole team. So every Friday we had team meetings just like this with just as many people, if not more. And we went around the floor with an agenda just like this. So I'm pretty used to this like teamwork setting. I had to talk to the art gallery intern to make posts about the art gallery, and I had to talk to the events coordinator to make flyers for his events, and I had to talk to my boss to run everything through. So I'm pretty used to working in teams, and as well as with HLSU, we do have designated positions on eBoard, but the way that HLSU works is that we all put in the same amount of work as a group, and we all kind of do more than our actual eBoard job. And we kind of help each other where we need help. We meet each other where we are. And that's the thing I love about it. I love my HLSU team. I genuinely call them my family without hesitation because of how close we are and how well we work together. So I don't really have issues working in teams. I'm actually such a people person. As a lot of people here might know me, know that I love group settings, and that's probably where I thrive most. So yeah.
Wonderful. Are there any more questions for Ash? Okay. I am going to just quickly share my screen so that way we can all see the legislation. Yes. Is there any more points of discussion anyone would like to add before going forward?
Yes, I just like to add that I know Ashley personally, and even if I did not know them personally, just seeing the HLSU page and seeing the way that Okamoka has run in their work ethic at Okamoka, they are the perfect candidate for this job, and I am so excited to see what they do with the SGA page. So I'm glad you're here.
Naila Benet is also my little Through the Humanities Scholars program, so that just means a lot coming from them.
Okay. I did want to ask something. I know you prefer Ash. Is that something you want to be reflected within this document, or is Ashley all right?
For the sake of the document, it's totally fine the way that it is.
Okay.
But thank you very much for asking. I really appreciate it.
Of course. Okay. If there's no more questions or discussions to be made, is there a motion on the floor?
I move to approve SL 35-2021.
Thanks, Reese. Is there a second?
Second.
I heard a second. So, number of senators for, could you please type I in the chat? Oh, I guess I have to as well.
I'm counting 10 eyes.
10 eyes. Okay. Thank you, Wendy. Okay. All right. Number of senators opposed. Oh, there's one.
Kai, we just got our 11th eye.
Wonderful. So there's no opposed, there's 0 abstaining, and then there is 0 not present. And with that, this passes the Senate. Congratulations, Ash.
Thank you.
And then I'll stop sharing my screen. Oh, my computer's doing a weird thing. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, congratulations, Ash. Jessica Kwan is very interested in working with you because her initiative is something that's intertwined with what you said within our interview. So I'm sure you two will be connecting very shortly. But Candice will also be reaching out with other things as well, like hiring letter and stuff. So be on the lookout for that. But other than that, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Wonderful, wonderful. You're more than welcome to stay, but you're more than welcome to leave if you want to leave. Have a good night. I don't know how else to like.
I'm gonna stick around, just to observe and stuff. But I'll just have to mute it.
Of course, wonderful. Our next item on the agenda is Michelle. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, everyone. I'm glad I'm here. Nice to see you all again.
Yeah. This is for your promotion. And you're more for those who do not know Michelle, if you could introduce yourself briefly and explain why you're best fit for this promotion. We'll go into a round of questions afterwards.
Sounds good. All right. So hi, everyone. I am a senior at UMBC. I'm major elementary education certification minor. So for a while, but I've always been so it's that I've always enjoyed. I love doing. But because of recent events, it's just like time. I unfortunately am gonna be in this position not for too long, but I do plan on helping with the transition and making sure that everything is going smoothly. And I'm just here for the sake of the communications department and SGA as a whole. So yeah, just a little bit of I was excited to be here.
Thanks, Michelle. Yeah, is there any questions for Michelle? Personally, I don't have any because I'm very confident in Michelle's ability. So, are there any questions or discussions? I hear nothing. Not really. Ha ha ha, says Jessica in the chat. Okay. So I'll share my screen once again. If it lets me. Ooh, my computer's freaking out. Okay, there we go. Yeah. If there's no more questions or discussions to be made, is there a motion on the floor?
I move to approve SL 36-2021.
Second.
I heard a second. So number of senators for, could you please type I in the chat? I think that's 11.
Yep, that's
So-
11.
So number of senators for is, oh no, please work. There we go. Number of senators for is 11. There is 0 opposed, 0 abstaining, and 0 not present. And with that, this passes the Senate. Congratulations, Michelle. Oh no, my page is unresponsive. Well, regardless, you passed the Senate. I'm not entirely sure if Candace needs to reach out to you or not, but we look forward in your work in the future.
Yeah, I'll send you an updated hire letter and I'll do some like back end payroll stuff that you won't really see, but I'll send you an updated hire letter.
Thanks, Candace. Yeah. Yeah, so thanks, Michelle, for coming in. Oh my gosh, my computer. Question, are y'all still able to see me? Or hear me?
Yes, I can see you and hear you.
Wonderful. My computer's pitch black. So
no.
moving forward, can I pass this off to Wendy? Can you kind of guide the meeting until I get this situated?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Let me just. Okay, I'm gonna start closing a couple tabs because I have like 50 open. Okay, can you all see this?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, great. Kai, can you see this?
Okay, I think I'm back. It's just everything went haywire for a second.
All right, in that case, I can share my screen if you want to go back to leading the meeting.
That's fine. It's just I think up next is Bianca, for the coordinator of graphic design. Hi Bianca, welcome to Senate. If you could introduce yourself to us and explain why you're best fit for this position, and then we'll go into a round of questions afterwards. That'd be wonderful.
Okay. Can you guys hear me? Okay. Okay. So, hi, I'm Bianca Morales Cabrera. I'm a freshman at UMBC. I'm really excited to be here. As a freshman, it's been kind of difficult to be able to connect with my community at UMBC since everything's online right now, and I've only been to campus only a few times. Right now, I'm actually currently working at the Retriever as well as a production assistant for graphic design as well. And then I saw that UMBC SGA was looking for a graphic designer, and I was excited because I've always wanted to be part of SGA even in high school. So I'm happy that I could be here for university now. So I'm looking forward to working with everyone here. Ashley seemed really cool. Hearing her talk. I actually have connections with Okamoka as well. I work with Madeline, who's actually the curator for Okamoka as well, and I've actually had worked in their exhibition before. So it's really cool how the world's small and there's small connections between peers you don't know. I have a lot of experience in high school working with large groups of people. I did theater all 4 years of high school, two of which I was set designer and arts crew manager. So I would design the sets for all the musicals and shows. I was also part of Honors Art Society and was president my last year of high school. Also was in honor society as well and key clubs. So I'm always open to working with people, with teammates. I enjoy it. Well, I could share my link to my online portfolio if you guys would like to look at it as well. I'm also part in the Linehan program, so I really like working with a team for a long term of time, so I could get to know with my peers and artists in general. So I could send my portfolio online. It's there. But yeah, I look forward to working with you guys.
Thanks, Bianca. I really appreciate you sharing your portfolio with us. I was gonna make a lot of stage crew or running crew memes, but I can wait because cause I was a part of that as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Are there any questions for Bianca?
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, I forgot, Michelle. We went to the same high school.
Thank you.
Oh, whoa. This is really cool.
Thank you.
This, do you do prints?
I actually do. I've only done a couple, but I do. Thank you.
Well, there's no question in your ability because you're very much talented. Yeah, I'm the same with Jessica. Candace.
Can you send that to me in the meets in Teams? Sorry. Can you send that to me in Teams because I'm in Teams and I don't actually see the chat.
Of course, I can.
Appreciate it thoroughly. Thank you. Just because of the oohing and eyeing you're doing, and yeah.
Actually, my computer is like freaking out, and I'm really scared to touch it. So, can somebody send that to Candace, please? But it sounds like there's no questions for Bianca. Is there any discussion points anyone would like to make?
I mean, no, not really. I mean, this is pretty stacked. I don't think I've ever seen a freshman like walk in here. Anybody in general walking in here talking about. I can show you my LinkedIn profile. I never heard that before, and I've been watching Senate for 2 years, so that's it's pretty impressive to me.
Thank you.
Agree. With that being said, is there a motion on the floor?
I move to approve SL 37-2021.
Second.
All right. Number of senators for, could you please type I in the chat? Okay, I believe that's 11. So a number of senators for is 11. There's number of senators opposed, 0. Abstaining is 0, and now present is 0. So with that, this passes the Senate. Congratulations, Bianca, and we look forward to collaborating together, and I look forward with you working in comms department and our communications department.
Thank you. Me too.
Yeah, again, Candace will be reaching out to you later, as well as communications will be reaching out with you. But you already know that stuff. So moving forward, SR 2021. This is the resolution Julius has put together to pledge support in the passing of the flavored tobacco prohibition or prohibiting flavored tobacco manufacturing and sale in the Maryland General Assembly. I incorporated the link to the bill itself and the resolution. I hope that you all have had a chance to review the bill, but it is pretty long, so it's understandable if you can skim it. But the resolution speaks for itself. Is there anything that we want to talk about? Oh yeah, thank you, Michelle, for coming in. If this resolution gets passed tonight, I do plan. I did draft up an email to send this to the author of the General Assembly bill, Delegate Jazz Lewis. He wrote the bill, and if passed, I plan on sending him, hey, UMBC Senate, just wanted to know that we officially support this and what you're doing. But I hope the resolution speaks for itself. Are there any questions, or is there anything we want to talk about? Candace.
So I'm just reading over some of this language again. And I would ask for Senate to consider changing the word kids to maybe youth. The youth is used in here a couple of times, like in some other places. Oh, someone has to move to amend this. So you can't just change.
Oh yes.
I move to amend SN 03-2021.
Okay. And someone's got to second it, and then there has to be and then you can ask for general consent.
Is there general consent? I'm assuming so, because I don't hear any no's or shaking of heads.
Yeah, so there's that one, and then in the
Youth or
second,
youths?
yeah, the majority of youth, I would say youth. And then there's another kids in this one too.
Next to Maryland.
Yeah, next to Maryland. The health of Maryland. I would put Maryland. I would make the recommendation to change it. The health of Maryland youth. Maryland's youth. Youth. Yeah, just change it to youth. Yeah, that's fine.
Do I have to make a separate motion for that?
No, I don't think so.
Personally, I'm not sure about this part of it. Is there like a better way we can phrase that?
We just remove the ad. Just say use the target youth. Just say that instead.
Gotta move to amend.
I move to amend SR 03-20, which was 2021, right? Correct.
Second.
Need a second. Is there a general consent? I'm assuming no. Okay. Is there any other points of discussion or grammatical / language change? Candice, your hand is raised. Nope. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna take the silence as everyone's good with this. So moving forward, is there a motion on the floor?
I move to approve SR 03-2021 as amended.
Wonderful. And there's a second in the chat by Mati and Menno. So number of senators 4, could you please type I in the chat? Okay, so I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 ayes for. Number of senators opposed. We have 1 opposed, 2 abstaining, 0 present. And with that, this resolution passes. Oh, Wendy, it's 9-4. My fault. 9-4, 1 abstaining, 1 opposed. Cool. All right. I'll be sure to let Mr. Jazz Lewis know. And thank you everyone for that. Moving forward, Senator updates, initiative updates. Julius, do you mind starting us off with that?
Hello. Okay. Just lag a little bit. So basically, I scheduled a meeting with Kelly Kyber. She's the head of undergraduate ambassadors program, and really I wanted the meeting to happen this week, but unfortunately they have some sort of big event happening, so she won't be able to have the meeting this week. She'll be able to look over my proposal that I have, but we'll be meeting next Monday, I believe. I put it on my calendar. So that's where I'm at right now. Just gonna probably do some more research on what they're doing with that organization, see how that matches up with my proposal. So that's what I'm gonna be doing this week.
Cool. Yeah, Kelly's an awesome person. She was my, I guess she was my boss for OPA, so I look forward with you two working together. Neela Benet.
Yeah, so I didn't get to tell B because our last one-on-one was canceled due to snow, but for the Lead Her Shop that's coming up in March, I found some pretty good videos and pieces that we can use for that opening section B. So since that's my current initiative, that's what I've been working on, is just compiling some great resources and videos about feminism and intersectionality that we can use during that workshop.
Kai, I think you're muted.
Okay. WebEx just quit on me and then launched back, and I'm very confused. Oh, it's doing it again. I'm gonna pass it to Jessica.
Hi. Okay, wait, sorry. I had to like collect my thoughts. Okay. So, initiative wise, well, now we have people to contact from communications. So I'll be updating that meeting uh list so that Ash is also included. Like I was having some like schedule conflicts with Michelle anyways, so like this like works out so that there's like more people who can be present. But yeah, that's like small update. But yeah. Yay.
Cool. Thanks, Jess. Mario.
Hello. So for me, since most things with like other initiatives that I've been working on are either like making steady progress or they're finalized, I'm at a point where I kind of have free time to work on other initiatives. So I've been in communication with transfer students affiliated with OCSS and like international students at UMBC just to see if we could have like a collaborative event that promotes, like the inclusivity and the support of both of these types of groups at UMBC.
Yeah, and you also made a live map. Well,
yeah,
I'm not entirely sure how you like the whole sit thing was created, but it's there because of your help.
Yeah, that too.
Mati. Oh, Mati put hers in the chat, so I'll read it out loud. So for updates, I've gotten in touch with Mr. Teague and shared the link with, as well as proposing how we can build on that with the ideas we discussed. I'm waiting to hear back from him. This is with the new route expansion past, not Hyattsville. I will be reaching out to the comments this week. Yeah, Mati, if any one of us had a transportation related question, do you know who we should go to or ask? Or should we go to you for a point of contact and ask?
While she's typing, just for like full transparency, I did private message Kai about a transportation related question that I had about like hearing that shuttles are being suspended. So thank you so much for answering.
Okay, WebEx is back. I don't know if I've ever left, but I'm very scared, so I'm gonna move on. Wendy, you're next on my screen. Do you mind giving us an update?
Not at all. So I scheduled a meeting with Dr. K from the Honors College just to ask about what happened during her working group meeting about USM, UMBC, and like the prison system. So that's Thursday afternoon, and I'm just gonna ask a couple of questions just to see where she's at. And then for student ambassadors, I started talking to Folio and the people in charge, like Dr. Greg, about the possibility of introducing body doubling, which is just like a study method. So we're possibly gonna make like a subcommittee to work on like giving students more information about how to succeed academically.
Wonderful. Reese.
I'm gonna share my screen because Mershad and I have been, and also Jessica as well, have been working on Jeepers Creepers. Hold on. We've been working on this proposal, and Mershad has already begun shooting it out to relevant stakeholders. All right, can everyone see this now? All right, I see it in people's faces that they kind of see it. Okay, cool. Just look at this beautiful document. So, in essence, we have been inspired by UB and their Inclusion Alley, of which they've painted, and they're looking to expand even more and do some more murals for various inclusive elements for their university. And this is kind of merged with one of Rashad's old senator initiatives that he was working on last year, but had to be postponed because we were away from campus and things like that. And also, like, it was kind of a struggle to get to work out the logistics with facilities on how to clean up the space. So we're trying to get that rolling again and reclaim the space as what we call the inclusion courtyard. I've proposed the coexistence courtyard just because it's alliterative, but we'll most likely have it be decided upon by the community at large. And essentially what we want to clean it up first of all, and then put it up as a inclusive element, and then we want to solicit murals from the community at large so that we can have this space, like co-create this space with the community, and also have various aspects of inclusion, various facets of identity explored and celebrated as decided upon by the UBC community at large, but also we'll have a selection committee with I3B and other stakeholders so that we can kind of have like a semesterly unveiling event of a new mural. And there's a ton of walls here, if I can. There's a bunch of potentially possible mural locations that we will have to survey later and check out. We want to do a lock wall, but apparently sometimes they get a little too heavy, so a little sad boy moment. So we might do a rock garden, rubber bands, I think is another potential initiative. We wanted to do it so that freshmen during rotation would be able to leave a mark on their space and just feel connected to the community. I think that's all. Yeah. Cool. I'd love to hear anyone's thoughts, suggestions, anything else.
I'm thinking for the lock wall. I know at my old summer camp, I went to 4-H camp, and they had like this thing on the basketball court where instead of locks, we'd have like the grips for your keychains, or like a keychain itself, because they're really lightweight, but you can like decorate them. It's like the thing with like you clip it in like this. You know what I'm talking about?
A carabiner.
I guess it's like, yeah. It just, you clip it in like that, and it can go around, and you can add things to that like represent you.
I like that.
Maybe that could be like a lighter weight version.
You hear that, Marshall?
Okay, I think I'm unmuted. Every time I touch my computer, it flashes and I get scared. But yeah, good job, Reese and Rashad and Jess. That looks like a very well-written, thorough proposal. So I applaud you for that. Mena in the chat, yeah, I just wanted to read that out loud. Mena states, for my initiative update, Kai and I held a meeting with RSA President Jack Kelly to partner with us on our compost initiative, and we'll be hosting a meeting at the end of the week with Dining Committee and the Office of Sustainability to learn more about how UMBC is composting right nowadays and how they can help us. Yeah, Jack Kelly is an amazing man.
I have a question. So what actually happens with the compost that UMBC has? Because I like have seen it in some options, and I was wondering, like, do they partner with any, like the garden? Like, what do they do?
Wait, can you say that again, Lindsay?
Yeah, so like what actually happens on campus with composting to the extent that it's currently like occurring? Like, does it go anywhere specific, or like the garden or something like that?
So we are meeting up with them later this week because I have been trying to plan exactly how UMBC is composting for like last semester and this semester, but they're not the best at replying. Like not replying per se, but I do know for composting for D Hall has a they have a partnership with someone who comes in, a company that comes in once a week that takes it to community compost bins. So, but as far as I know, the only thing that's happening right now in UMBC is that D Hall is composting, but nowhere else, like no other location on campus has composting. The Commons used to, but I don't think it's being. I don't think they're actually using the compost in the Commons anymore. So yeah.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay. Cool. Mario. Oh, I'm sorry, Mario, you already went. I don't have my traditional list here, so I'm going off by screens. Patrick.
Yeah, so this past week, I was able to start drafting a JR in support of just kind of investigating and divesting from the Maryland Correctional Institute or Enterprise, excuse me. And then moving forward, hopefully, this week I'm looking to. There was a bill that was introduced into the Maryland General Assembly that I'm going to be researching a little bit more about. That would provide a minimum wage to the inmates that work for MCE, and maybe just some other contacts, other schools, hopefully like Towson, that I can reach out to and just sort of see if there's any thought going on in their student government organizations about this. So yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Patrick. And Z.
For the health fair, I just gave UHS like my general outline. I got some of the WebEx Teams rooms set up, and I'm reaching out to trying to see what clubs to reach out to that would also be involved. And for and then for the clubs, I have like a general outline plan, but I'm just waiting to hear back from the head of the Alumni Association.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Z. I know you also reached out about our one-on-one times, and I'll be checking back with that later tonight. Is there anybody that have not gone or that I have missed? Okay. Cool. I look forward to hearing more about this in our one-on-ones and providing like a structural next steps basis going forward. Up next is our shared governance committee updates. I know there's a classroom committee. If you could explain more about that, Julius, that'd be wonderful.
Yeah. Scroll up for me. Okay, let's see. All right, so basically they start off the meeting with, geez, I did not change the date. What was I on? Yeah. The date of that was, let me go get my calendar real quick. I don't know how I missed that. Oh, you got it. Thank you. So, basically they start off the meeting just talking about more fall planning, essentially. Some ideas, because the big thing I've gathered was they're just trying to increase the amount of in-person classes on campus. Of course, as they kept trying to reiterate, just having those safety measures, but they're trying to have like at least the maximum amount of classes. Really, that's really what they're trying to do. And also, this seems to be a general consensus, I'm assuming, like based off a survey and stuff like that, that UMBC as a whole, students, faculty, staff, all want to be back in person. Just the environment, the class, the grades, just the flexibility, just how we work as a whole is better in person. So that's really what their focus is. The big thing I really want to point out is two big things really is the increase in high flex classes, which is basically this idea that you basically have a camera that's like where students could basically be asynchronous almost. They say asynchronous. I don't know if that's the right terminology, and also be in class at the same time. So there's in person and then there's people online in the same classroom at the same time. So I guess in case, like, say, if some students may like being online now instead of being in person, you have the HFX class, high flex classes, excuse me, to help with that. So that's something that we could see being used more often in the fall. Another idea that was very interesting to me was they thought of like essentially converting UMBC ballroom into classes or possibly the library. It's just being considered. This is not confirmed or anything like that. But I just found that very interesting because they basically was talking about how like it's not even used. Like the UNC ballroom is not being used at all. The library is closed. So the thing of just possible ways those could possibly become classrooms. So that's something that was really interesting. Next thing they really talk about is accessibility concerns. This really turned into them just asking about thousands of questions about like how there's a lot of students coming to them, talking about their experiences of the online part of UMBC and how it just hasn't been very good overall. And it's just something that was just brought up a lot. Tammy, I believe that's McMahon, she's like the director of Student Accessibility Services. She just brought up a lot of different points about how we need to focus on accessibility this fall and do just a better job at that, especially if we're going to still continue to be in an online setting. Finally, we talked about these classroom adjustments, which consistently is just basically talking about how lots of classrooms are going to be getting sectioned off and just a lot of different things going on with that. Because a lot of courses, of course, want to be in. I cannot talk right now. I want to be in person, and basically the problem they're running into is it's not that we don't have the classrooms. It's just that the amount of the classroom space, the size of the classroom, just isn't enough for these different courses. So I guess people want a Chem 101 in person because that class is better in person. Well, due to the COVID regulations, stuff like that's not possible. But it's kind of like, well, that class needs to be in person for a better, outcome for the students. So that's kind of the problem that they were talking about. Another thing that was really, really interesting to me was the idea that free hour was going to be, things like that, Wendy, is what they have brought up. Another thing that was probably the biggest thing to me that was important was the fact that they say they might revoke free hour due to health concerns, because theoretically, if a lot more people are going to be on campus and free hours kind of one period where y'all know about it, it's a swarm of people running in for lunch and stuff like that. That is serious health concerns, and it was something that they were really considering kind of just evoking for the time being, because how does that affect virtual learning? The thing they brought up was just like that break period, because like as 3 hours usually that break period. They just want to talk about how, like, since students may be going to and from classes, they have a class at 12, and they have an in-person class at 1 o'clock or something like that. They may want to get something to eat because it's the middle of the day. Lunch is just the lunch commons area is starting to open up. So they're just really concerned about being a super spreader area. This is all, of course, still in consideration. None of this is like 100% confirmed yet. My thing about it is I don't think it's necessarily a good idea, because I also think that really messes up a lot of the student organizations. There are a lot of student organizations that also have their meetings during that time as well. So revoking that per se, and let's say, let's add a class during that time, that kind of really messes up with the structure of a lot of organizations. So I don't expect that to get approved or anything like that, but that's just my 2 cents on it. I don't know if you have any questions about that. But yeah, that'll be it.
Yeah, thanks, Julius. Yeah, no, I totally agree with you on the free hour thing. When I noticed that in the notes, I was like, oh, I don't think that's a good idea. But yeah, thank you for sharing. Uh, is there anything that the classroom committee want student input or suggestion or opinion on?
Not that I know of, or that I can really remember. Honestly, y'all, right now, my head is hurting right now, so I really can't focus like I want to. That's why I'm kind of like rambling right now. So I'm just trying to keep going until I don't like literally fall out or something. So I'm just trying to stay focused right now.
I got you. Thank you, Julius. Yeah, my head was hurting like 2 days ago, yesterday. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I had a concussion. Anyways, Candace, do you want to talk about the black and gold?
Yes, thank you. Okay. Hello, friends. Can you hear me okay? Yeah, okay, great. So, as some of you may know, there's something called the Stay Black and Gold Fund. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the Stay Black and Gold Fund, it is a fund, it is a pot of money that is used for students who are in extreme need, who are experiencing a need that is unexpected, and that can't be met, and that they have exhausted all of their other options for aid through the university, and through loans and like they've exhausted it all. They need help. And SGA has been involved in the Stay Black and Gold Fund since its inception. And it has evolved over the course of the years. Prior to COVID, it was exactly that, sort of the last stop on the train for students who were in need. And then during COVID, it evolved into a funnel for CARES Act money, and other money from donations for students who were experiencing need during COVID. And it is evolving again to be sort of more formalized than it has been, because previously, in order to apply for money from the State Black and Gold Fund previous to COVID, there wasn't really an application process. It was, you've exhausted all of your resources, and financial aid has pointed you to this fund that was reviewed by SGA and members of Student Affairs. And so this during COVID, it became more formalized. There's an online application that students could use to request money. And it is now transitioned to the scholarships page, so that it is sort of more visible to students who may be in need, as opposed to having to come through this back door for this fund. So the SGA and Student Affairs have an MOU, a Memorandum of Understanding, as to how the funds and the applications to that fund are to be reviewed. And that MOU states that 3 students from SGA should be on a review committee for those applications. And so we need to designate 3 students to review applications for the State Black and Gold Fund. And so I am here to see who would be interested and available to review those. There is a meeting for this scheduled currently on, hold on, let me find my calendar, on Thursday, February 25th, so that's this Thursday, from 2 to 3:30. So if you are interested, it would be great if you were able to be at that meeting. So that is sort of where I am coming to you to see if there's anyone who's interested and available to be a part of that process.
In general, what does that time commitment look like? Is it just like an hour at a time, or?
Yeah, so I'm not sure, because this is, I will tell you, during during peak COVID,
Mm-hmm.
the time commitment was about an hour a day reviewing applications. But I think that it has transitioned to a place where the application closes and then the applications that you have are the applications that you review. If I
Like
am
reviewing them on paper or like discussing them?
They're online, they're through the scholarships, and so I guess a virtual paper. I'm not sure what the what it how like how much outside of this meeting it would be. The meeting is titled Review Black and Gold Applications, so I'm guessing we're going to be reviewing a number of them in the meeting. But I haven't received a lot of details other than it would be really helpful if there could be the SGA students there to help with this process.
Well,
Yeah,
Candace,
so if you are, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead, Kai.
oh no, I didn't mean to. Um,
Uh,
I was just gonna say that you have a group of people very interested in this, namely Nayla Bene, Jessica Kwan, Mena, and
Thank you, because I can't see the chat. So if you could send me a message through WebEx Teams that you are interested and whether or not you are available for the 2 o'clock meeting on the 25th, that would be excellent. So that I can sort of make some, thank you. I can make some sort of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Assignments. How about that? So, okay, great. Many thanks.
cool. Are there any more HGC updates or in general? Or as we transition to announcements, I just wanted to remind everyone that Wendy and I will be having our one-on-ones this week. And yeah, are there any more announcements anyone would like to mention or say?
Rashad, you can go.
I think I was just gonna announce your thing and then one other thing, so you can go first.
Oh, I was going to announce my thing too. You can do it. It's fine.
Okay, well, let me not announce her thing first. I am working on an initiative to get a leadership scholarship for UMBC SGA folks, and it's already in process. All I need is someone to help me do it. So, who would like to help me do it?
I thought you were going to say all I need is $25,000.
Well, that too, but unless you're filthy rich, I don't think you could help me like that. Okay, Jessica. Yes, Jessica, I will contact you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you a lot. Perfect. And secondly, I'll pass it to Nayla Benet for her update.
Okay. So on March 10th from 1 to 2 p.m., I'm going to be hosting a UMBC community event about confronting personal bias and just conversations around the monoliths placed on the Black community, like stereotypical ones. And I am going to be like facilitating it, but I really want it to, my mom's cooking, sorry. I really want it to be very like discussion and dialogue based. So I want it to be like an open environment where people who really aren't sure like what a monolith is or what a bias like is in their experience or don't have any experience with it, like can come and learn and just have those open dialogues with people who do experience it. So I'd really appreciate it if you all came out or if you know someone who would be interested in this to come out. Thanks, Jessica. To come out and Wendy. I can't read and talk at the same time. I'm stopping doing that. But yeah, it'd be really fun and I'm just really excited to do it. And if you also have any topics or like prompts that you would like to have during the discussion or that you think would be a good idea for me to incorporate, because it's my first time really doing this by myself, that would be really helpful as well. So just message me on Teams and yeah, thank you.
Cool. Yeah, definitely support you, Nayla. Is there any more other announcements? Candice.
I don't know if you know this, but the applications to run in the 2021 elections close on Friday.
Ooh.
So if you are interested in serving on SGA and running to serve on SGA next year, hanging out in my office, masked, you know, Clorox wiping 2B12, you should apply to run. So that's what's up.
Y'all should do it, okay? Online SGA is one experience. Person SGA is a whole nother level. You will transcend.
Yeah, as someone who's done both, even though I was only in person for like a month, if that, it's so much better. Wait, I actually think it was like 3 weeks because Mila Benet and I got our highlight on the 24th. But anyways.
Yeah, me and Wendy got confirmed and immediately were packing our bags. So.
Oh, happy anniversary and you're almost 1 year in Senate, Mila Benet and Wendy. Yay! Yeah, if we were in person, like if Corona never hit, if we were in person, I had this whole thing planned of like tournament debate. But yeah, are there
I thought you were gonna say like trips to Okamoka with Senate. I was not expecting that.
Oh yeah, trips to Okamoka to Senate too. I was also gonna carry that over because what better place to have a meeting with coffee surrounded by you? Oh my God, that sounds like a dream of mine. But with that being done and said, I'll adjourn the meeting at 7:14 p.m. and I'm gonna stop recording if my computer lets me.